Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about?
Well, I'm scared for my employees in these responsibilities I'm asking them to do.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
You know, I think it's a pretty big risk for these guys loading and unloading these ATVs every day for work.
What can we do about it?
You know, I think if we could maybe come up with some ideas on some good procedures and technique.
Like a training?
Yeah, like a training.
Let's do it. My name's Lance Mergens. I'm here with Paul, and we're going to talk about how to load an ATV.
Here's Jordan.
Jake's number 8. This is Steve. Keep your eye out for Steve.
All right, before you load your ATVs, the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that your trailer's set up properly. And the main thing that you do there is make sure that your coupler is on top of the ball, and most trailers should have a safety pin there to make sure that that's happening. The next is your chains are hooked up and they need to be crisscrossed and not dragging. If your chains are dragging, then they're not adjusted properly. Make sure your lights are plugged in, and the last thing I like to do is to lift up and make sure that that's not going to come loose. The plan is to be about 15 to 20 feet back, so when he starts that he can get that consistent speed that he's looking for.
So why do you pull that down so far?
So it's secure just in case you're going over bumps or whatever.
Oh, so when it's bouncing down the road, it might bounce loose, and so you want to pull that suspension down tight.
Great job loading that ATV into the trailer. What were you thinking about?
Well, I was thinking to make sure I was in the gear I was going to be going in the whole time. Usually the lowest gear is your safest gear to go up the ramp in. So that's one, obviously. And make sure as I was going up at the consistent speed to not shift the gear.
Nice. Hey Jordan, is it hard to wear your helmet?
No, it's actually really easy. It's very important as well.
Does it make your head itchy?
It does make your head a little itchy, but it's a it's a sacrifice you got to be willing to make.
All right. Well,
what do you think?
The best thing I think to do when you get to the area you're trying to go to is make sure that that truck again is parked on a flat surface. That way when you're unloading or undoing the straps, just in case your load shifted, when you undo that, it doesn't come off and roll to a certain degree or whatever. So best thing, park on a flat surface so that your load will unload level. Be a man. These ramps can be really heavy sometimes, so if you have 2 people, it's best to use 2 people in lowering that down so you don't put too much stress on your back.
So how do we go about getting this ATV off the trailer?
Well, it's really important. A few things. Obviously, the four-wheeler's got to be started, and then you disengage the brake. And as you roll back, you stay in reverse the whole time. When you hit the ramp, you just roll back. So I'll just show you.
Do you use your brakes as you're going down?
Yeah, but it's very important not to use the back brake though, because you could lock up and then roll backward on yourself.
That would be bad.
Yes, definitely a bad thing.
Okay, show me how to do it.
Start it up. So I'm just gonna shift to reverse and then roll back.
Another thing that you can actually use are ATV ramps, which we don't recommend using because they're not mounted solid, which allows them to be able to slip and move. Hey Jordan, will you undo that? That's free. So when you're using these ATV ramps, what you're going to want to do is, again, if it's possible, park the truck on a level surface. That way you're not increasing the angle of the ramps. Another thing is a lot of these ramps will come with chains and a little hook. I actually prefer to use tie downs and make sure that this ramp is secured tightly.
He's really showing me something over here.
Did you go on the hook?
He went on the...
Or the hull?
Yeah, he went
This one on the other side of it.
Side of the metal swing.
Now,
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
you make sure that you're not hitting brakes. You're not giving it high throttle when you're going up there. If these happen to come loose for whatever reason and you're giving it throttle, it can push those ramps right out from underneath you and it can be a problem, or hitting your brakes. So in these ones, when you're using them, you definitely want to, if you're not going to succeed in your loading, is to make sure you roll back and don't try to adjust on the ramp.
So are you glad you don't use these ramps all the time?
I lied?
Yeah, are you glad?
I'm glad.
Are you?
I lied. Yes, I'm glad we don't use these ramps all the time. It's a lot easier using the trailers.
Yeah, don't use these ramps if you don't have to. In case of emergency, it's nice to have them.
Alright, when operating an ATV, be sure to wear your protective equipment, starting with your helmet, safety glasses, a shirt, long sleeve shirts are preferable, your gloves, pants, and your boots.
Well, I think we showed him some good stuff.
Yeah, I think we came up with some good techniques and some procedures, and you know, I think it's really important to remember that your safety is number one over anything that you're doing here. You know, if you don't feel qualified or trained, or it's good to talk to your employer and make sure that that's done. That if you don't feel capable of doing it, that you inform your employer. I don't want anybody to get hurt. I care about everybody here, and my priority is everybody's safe.
You want me to put a flower in my ear too?
No, just a long piece of straw. But you know what? Can you strap the donuts on the front?
Alright, get out of here. Be careful.
Joking.
Almost for it.
I don't think so. Have I?
Yeah. Or you gonna do this? Give me the stick so I can hit land. Safety glasses are very important to keep bugs out of your eyes.
It wasn't a dowel, she always had a yardstick in her hand.
This is to prove that even the IT guy has fun when we're making videos.